BPTH, because I don't think a lot of people necessarily maybe know why whatever happened. So regardless from the I assume news or whatever that came out with this company, I don't really follow it that much. But so it had already went up significantly the day before because of the news, and you can see that like all this action back here. And so I guess that it already attracted a lot of short interest. And I think that the day that this happened, like if you look over here, I'm pretty sure that the short interest was well over 20% of the float of the stock. And so there were just incredibly high short interest, and you had good news. And then on this day, even when a lot of people were short, it opened up higher the next day. And then, really, what I think you had happen is that you can kind of notice that level, and you came back to rest on it later in the day. But the stock started to go up a little bit. My guess is there was a little bit of shorts still piling on, and I think at one point there was even no shorts left to borrow. So that means that there's just a huge percentage of people left short on the stock. And my guess is just what started to happen is that you really just had a short squeeze. I don't understand. It's really risky to short a low float stock. You need to know what you're doing, and people didn't short into strength. Really, this is just shorting, in my opinion, like on weakness, kind of right there. Shorting into strength would be any of these candles up here when it's really strong. But so you had a huge percentage of people short a low float stock, which means it doesn't take much to move the stock. You know, if you zoom out on this and were to look at the other days before this news, like a month ago or something like that, this stock did not trade anywhere near this many shares. Then all of a sudden you have these volume spikes with this. And so you just had a huge percentage of people short, and they all really had to cover at once. And so this is a good example of a short squeeze. And it's a short squeeze on a low float stock. So you're going to have something really crazy like this happen. Like, you know, this thing shouldn't be up at $70 a share. And when they all short squeeze at once and there's still some longs buying, then it just shows up, you know, in shorts cover, it shows up as a long, is how the trade would show up. And so you have all these green candles right here. And it was just shorts covering, pushing the price up, and more shorts covering all the way up. And probably even as they covered, more shorts were trying to buy in. And then when the old shorts were covering, those new shorts just kept getting shot up. And so it was the newest people basically buying and then getting squeezed continuously. And it's just a little pattern like that that can happen. And if you're not careful, like if you're short, you can end up in a really bad place. And it worked out great for the longs, but of course, you know, when you have any run up like this from, you know, where this stock was, and you have, I think this thing was up 400% at one point in time. I mean, you know, it's not going to last, so you got to be really watching and right beside your computer, like ready to sell if you are long and you've been riding this. But that's overall really just what kind of happened. Just wanted to say a quick little video on why that happens, and it's just because you had a low float stock and people got short squeezed. You can look at the short percentage of the float, and it was too high. And so you know that if it starts to fly up like that, the shorts are going to get squeezed because they're going to have to cover, because they will be, you know, you don't want to get margin called for 400% loss. And so that's what happened with those low float stocks. And then you can see, you know, it just kind of had to come back around that level and kind of level off a little bit, but it wasn't going to stay up at this 70 level, and it'll probably drop a little bit more as volume starts to die off. It stayed around those levels, and there it drops a little bit. But anyway, hopefully that helped y'all, and you can see the volume's just been nothing until those 2 days, and you have this insaneness right here. But anyway, hopefully that helped. There's just a little bit of a short video explaining if you were curious as to why this happened, and just a good example of, I guess, like a short squeeze in action in a low float stock.